My coworker is falling in love with me, but she doesn't know it yet.
Are you sure?
The title makes it sound worse than it really is, as if I have some ego complex or whatever. But before you pass judgment, let me explain. My 40 male coworker, we'll call her Kim, 31 female, and I met in 2017 when we started at the company together. We became fast friends and I felt drawn to her. I was attracted to her, and at times she seemed like she shared the sentiments, but she was married. Being an empath, I knew she wasn't happy in the marriage, and I was proven right when I learned he was harmful towards her, and she wound up divorcing him. By the way, this comes from acrylics, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So I was on medical leave for 20 months due to a back injury, so I didn't get to see Kim during that time. We didn't talk too much because she was distant with the whole marriage/divorce thing, and I wasn't going to push her. But I returned to work 4 weeks ago, and we've been talking ever since. We even realized we go to the same gym, so we became workout partners. I told her that I was interested in her, and it intrigued her. She wasn't committing to a date, but she was thinking about it. Truth be told, Kim has several guys she's talking to, even dating if the occasion arises. She doesn't sleep around, but she's testing the waters because she doesn't want a repeat. This past Tuesday, she tells me after our workout that she needs to get laid. It's been a year and a half for her, and she's feeling it. I told her that if that's what she wants, I can supply. She is hesitant, saying that she worries I'll read into it more than I should. I convince her that I can keep it NSA, and she laughs, tells me that I'm a talker, and says I have this feeling we're going to wind up having spicy sleep. Wednesday, I proposed getting a hotel room on payday, not expecting spicy sleep, but just to hang out. She responds, I don't know. Thursday, we have our first actual date, and it came as a surprise. I was late to the gym due to a doctor's appointment, and she already got her workout in. She came over to me, and we talked for half an hour and then said, let's go eat right now. So we go eat. We sat in the restaurant for 5 hours until closing, just talking and learning about each other. Then she asks, why the hotel room? What are your intentions? I tell her, really just to get to know you. We don't have many places we can hang out and get to know each other, so why not? She was hesitant, but then tells me, okay, let's get the hotel. Next day at work, she confirms we're getting the hotel that day. Kim and I spent 12 hours together, walking around the mall, in the hotel room, eating out, and just hanging out. She wanted a nap, and when she couldn't sleep, she asked me to hold her hand. When she still couldn't sleep, I asked, would cuddling you help? She smiled and nodded, so I cuddled her. Well, cuddling led to spicy sleep, and she opened up to me and said it was the best night she'd had in forever and the most fun with everything she had in a long time. I gave her a full body massage, and she was at a loss for words, saying, this is new. I don't know how to react, but it feels so good. She'd never been pampered. We didn't kiss. She isn't mentally ready, but I figured something out today. Kim is the center of attention for the first time in her life. She's got guys fawning over her. She's admitted she's afraid of developing feelings for me, and she wants to save a kiss for when she wants to become attached. But every one of her actions over the past 2 days, they speak volume. I'm being patient. I'm waiting, biding my time.
It's been 2 days.
But it's still so frustrating that she's talking to other guys. But what can I do but expect to be patient? I'm 100% certain she's falling in love with me, but she's afraid and also doesn't want to lose her center of attention status or hurt me in the process. She told me she went to sleep with a smile on her face. Am I wrong in reading her signs? Is it hopeless? Should I give up? I don't want to, though. Is this a problem? What are your thoughts? We got an update, but Dakota, what do you think about this situation? So OP is basically saying, like, what should I do here?
She very well could be slowly developing feelings for you. I think OP needs to, before they date, they need to get straight on how they're actually viewing him. Because from the very beginning, I was like, something is not right. Something struck me wrong, the way he was describing it. And still in this, where it's like, I know she's falling in love with me. It's like, no, you don't. You're just like idealizing the situation and then like putting it on her.
I could
like
see there being a little bit of like pedestalization and a little bit of like I don't think we can say this for sure, but the teensy bit of kind of like controllingness in that, where like, I know what she's thinking better than she knows herself.
Yeah.
A little bit. But I think the big thing here is if you try to lock down someone who's not ready to be locked down, you might successfully do so in the short term, but they may still have the desire to sow their wild oats in the long term. And that's going to pop up like a gopher just popping out of a hole later down the relationship. And so it's like, really, I feel like you gotta let her sow the oats So my last post got a lot of heat and a lot of hate. Understandable. Not everyone believes in empaths.
Brother, that's not what it is. It's that, see, this is what I'm talking about. That's why sometimes empath stuff bothers me. It's because people are like, well, I just literally know exactly what everyone's thinking. And it's like, no, you don't. Until you have a conversation, you get clear like normal human beings. Like,
I feel like what really this guy has is he has an overabundance of misplaced confidence in his ability to suss out people's emotions.
I believe you're correct.
Often will make you worse at that. But that's why the update. And it's going to start very well, like most people said it would. Kim told me today she'd reached a decision. That decision was she did not want to date me. I told her that I respect her choice and asked her why. Her response was that she knew herself well enough to know she didn't want to. Fair enough. You proved the comments right. I was reading too much into things. Oh, the horror. Life goes on, but so does this story. I told her I wasn't going to the gym today, and she demanded to know why. Told her I had things to take care of. Then I also mentioned getting a better paying job, talked about a couple other things, then ended the video chat because she was mean mugging me. Told her to enjoy her workout and left it at that. 20 minutes later, she texts me and says she's upset now, but she'll be fine, doesn't want to give me a reason. I told her that I'm still her friend regardless of her decision and nothing has changed. She tells me then I don't want to be friends. Didn't give a reason why, just said she didn't want to be friends anymore. Well, I couldn't let that slide. I hopped in my car and drove to the gym, told her I was there and we needed to talk. She told me to go away and not to talk to her. I left her alone, but I told her if you could look me dead in the eye and say our friendship is over, I'll leave you alone. I went over to sit up on the bench and saw her sitting on the ground glaring at me. I mimed, what? To her, and no response. Texted her, she took her phone out of her pocket and mic dropped it on the ground, still glaring. So I walk over to her and sit down next to her. I hate you. You're so annoying, was the first thing she said. Not great communication on her part either.
What do you mean? If you had basically someone like stalking you into the gym after you're like, leave me alone, that was weird, whatever you just tried to do. I don't want to talk to you. And then they show up to the gym after they said, oh, I can't go today.
It's still weird. I know.
You'd be like, leave me alone. I'm not going to engage with you.
I feel like I'm also getting not the best communication from her, but he is like, I feel like he is prompting her to give him bad communication.
I agreed. I would not encourage this in any way. He thinks he can just show up and make me talk to him. Yeah, right. I'm not speaking to you.
I told her I can be, but would like to know why I was annoying right then. And she said, how do you think I felt when you told me you were leaving for another job? I had just gotten used to seeing your face after 20 months. And now after I tell you I don't want to date you, you spring this on me? I told her it wasn't about that at all, just timing. Then she says, I hate that you read me so well. You know what I'm feeling even before I admit it. Stop reading me.
That's a lie. There's no way that happened. I'm sorry.
It feels like things that didn't happen for $100.
Yeah.
I probed for more information and ultimately asked, was I right when I said you were developing feelings for me? To which she said yes, but I refused to acknowledge them. I don't want to date you. I'm not mentally ready. I hate you. I hate what you do to my feelings. My life was perfect. I had a routine going on, and then you walked right in and effed it all up. Now I'm out of whack with my routine. She says I'm a distraction, that I keep her from doing what she needs to do. She paints. In the past month, she has not finished a single painting because I distract her thoughts. I'm everything she wants, she says, but she's not mentally ready. I told her I'm still patient. By the way, I can be patient with you. If you want to listen to full episodes with stories just like this, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime.
Oh, yeah.
There's another relevant update.
I just have to say, humble brag, I'm so glad I clocked this guy's energy instantaneously at the beginning of this story. Because it's like, guys, don't be this guy. Don't be the guy who's like, I know she's in love with me. I'm an empath. Yeah. I just want to know the real version of when he showed up to the gym. She probably was like, security, can you get this guy out of here?
I feel like there's elements of truth to this where it's like she wasn't interested in dating him, but he's inventing this reason because it sounds ridiculous.
I mean, sure, there's a situation where probably they do hook up maybe, and there is some I don't know, I just got out of this weird thing and you are kind of cool. But I love that she, as soon as he tried to pull the, you won't date me? Well, then I guess she's like, all right,
see ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Cool. You go, girl. That's exactly what you should do.
Well, we left the gym and walked to her car talking. She walked towards me, put her head on my shoulder and asked me to hold her. Then she muttered, I hate you again, laughing this time. Then she almost kissed me, but stopped herself because of reasons. She told me her ex demanded all of her time and that in the 3 years of marriage, she got half a painting done. In the year and a half of separation, she got 6 done. I told her I'm not interested in holding her back and that I have a life outside of her and don't need her at my beck and call. She told me relationships are hard work and she does not want to work like that. I told her that it's only hard work when people don't connect. She just doesn't want to be held back anymore and forget her passions. I made a promise not to hold her back at all. She smiled at me, then tells me she needs to get home. I ask her if she wants me to bring her a protein shake tomorrow for her. I make pumpkin spice, which she enjoys. She asked me instead for strawberry banana, so I obliged. Later, she tells me If you get me a ruby chocolate for V-Day, I'll be happy. She's falling in love with me, but isn't prepared mentally. And I'm so glad I took a risk heading to the gym when she said she wanted to be left alone. Sometimes you have to go with your gut. We're still not dating, but she's got those feelings. Now she just needs to get her mentality right. All the while, I'll still be patiently waiting. Thank you all for your previous comments, no matter the context. I don't know, man. I don't know if I buy it. I think man got rejected so hard, and this is his coping mechanism.
I don't think this guy's ever been in a freaking relationship.
Yeah.
The way he said, oh, well, relationships are only hard work when people don't connect. Hey, idiot, it's hard work to connect.
Yeah.
You got to work on that constantly to make sure you're connecting. Like, there's some element of truth to that, but it's like just to say that it's like, oh, well, as long as people are connecting, that is the work. It's like nonsense that he would say that.
This feels very nice guy. Feels very nice guy.
I went on an accidental date with my friend months before my wedding.
How did you not know it was a date?
I, 28 male, am getting married to my partner, we'll call him James, 39 male, of 8 years in October. We both have been working 2 jobs to save up for the special day, with me going back to my old retail job. Part-time. By the way, this comes from user Throwaway Accident Date, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. My current full-time job has a very toxic work environment with a coworker bullying me, so I am job hunting. This past Saturday, I Ubered to my part-time job to work on my resume and cover letter with my boss. As I was getting ready to leave, one of my coworkers/friends, Eric, 31 male, was getting out. We had worked together before I left. We always got along and had a lot in common, like liking the same books, movies, TV, blah, blah, blah. He said he wanted to cheer me up, so we walked around the outside of the shopping center where the retail job is. We talked, we caught up, we went into Barnes & Noble, and he showed me some of his favorite books. It made me forget about my work issues at my other job, and it was nice to talk with someone outside of my tight-knit circle, like my family and my fiance. After this, he bought me some lunch and an ice cream, because it was warm out. After that, he drove me home. My partner was working an overnight, so by the time I got home, he had left. My brother called to check up on me as I was in a bad mental space the day prior due to my job. Told him about my day when he goes, hey, is everything good with you and James? I asked him why, and he elaborated, saying, it sounds like you and Eric went on a date. While my brother has always had a sense of humor, deadpan was never his strong suit, and he sounded 100% serious. I assured him that it was not a date, that it was a straight man cheering up his friend. Then he went into his typical joking demeanor, saying that I didn't know for sure that Eric was straight, which Eric has confessed to me in the past that he is bi-curious. Now, admittedly, Eric is my type, and our jokes can be flirty, but it is just jokes. For example, he had some ice cream in his beard that day, and when I told him, he said, well, if you want, you can kiss it off.
Oh.
Hey, OP, are you sure you accidentally went on this date? When I explained the situation to a mutual friend of Eric's and I's, they too teased me for going on an accidental date. It made a really nice time out with my friend turn into something I am now feeling kind of ashamed of. Eric has reached out to me since to thank me for spending the time with him, but I felt too conflicted to respond. And now I'm keeping the situation from my partner, which is causing me more stress. Now I am unsure what exactly I am feeling. I was hoping to get some advice. How should I move forward? And there's an update. First of all, I forgot to tell you all in the original post that I'm neurodivergent, so I suck at social cues and don't always pick up on someone's intentions at first. That's not an excuse. It just informs part of why I made the original post in the first place, and why I might have missed some red flags from Eric, which on the surface seemed obvious. A fact which some of you were not kind nor understanding about. Welcome to the internet, buddy. I've told my fiance everything I've ever said to Eric the day I have said them, including the spiciest thing I ever said to Eric. Oh, you must be putting in work at the gym. You look great. I got to catch up with you because I'm looking like a bloated whale. When I say that we have made flirty jokes, in hindsight, it's been mostly Eric, but I do own up to the times I participated in the belief that it was harmless. Everything I've said is considered by my fiance as relatively tame compared to the things he has said to some of his friends, which I'm okay with. The general rule in our relationship is that harmless flirty jokes among trusted friends and close peers are okay. Flirting with the intention of the spicy sleep or romance is not. The day I posted, I asked my fiance to talk. I explained everything, my lunch with Eric, the joke. I also told him how people thought it sounded like a date and how others thought it was bordering on an emotional affair. I showed him the post and he said, dang, the internet is harsh. Seems like a lot of people have been cheated on. He didn't agree with the emotional affair takes as he felt like this was an isolated incident as opposed to a pattern that was projected by some. When I told him the eat ice cream off my beard comment, he went, "Wait, I need you to tell me this. What flavor was the ice cream that he suggested you kiss off his beard? Because that would decide whether or not I did it." I love my fiance because he always knows how to make me feel better and is a much better jokester than myself or Eric. He said that he knows I never considered my feelings for Eric as romantic, which is why I didn't look into his joke at first. He did also say that due to me being on the spectrum, he knows I struggle with social interactions and that I was only seeing the best in someone I viewed as a friend. He suggested that I tell Eric that this was his last warning, and in the future, he needed to respect my boundaries and that my fiance didn't feel comfortable with us having meetups without his knowledge beforehand. That was what I set out to do. I met with Eric again the day after, having told my fiance that this was happening. He apologized for the joke before I even got a chance to tell him about the situation. That was when the real heavy stuff began.
Oh no.
He explained that he was starting to feel like his bi-curiousness was more than curiosity, which many of you put together. He said that he didn't want to ruin his friendship with me, but that he did want a test date with a guy, see how he felt, and this was his reasoning behind asking me to hang out last Saturday. Again, something most of you caught on to right away. Call me naive for not picking up on it. Again, I was in a bad mental space due to my job situation and viewed Eric as my friend only. I asked him why he felt that a test date was appropriate with someone he knows is engaged. He continued that he thought most men were in open relationships and that I would be cool with it, though for some reason did not divulge his true intentions. He clarified that since he wasn't into me, he just wanted his first date with a guy to be someone he was comfortable with. I asked him if he considered how uncomfortable this made me. I explained that it felt like my trust was mistreated and that I felt like an idiot. He apologized again, but I asked him that if he thought most men were open and if he saw it as a date, why did he make the inappropriate comment about kissing him? Since by his own logic, I would have done it. He explained that since his jokes were lightly flirtatious in the past and I had let them slide, he decided to up the ante and hoped I wouldn't notice or be bothered by it. And at first, I wasn't. But I elaborated that I was bothered now and that what he did was a violation of my friendship, my trust, and the fact that I don't always pick up on those cues and even stigmas about my spicy proclivities. I left it with telling him I wasn't here to be his closet key.
Ooh. Roasted.
Because despite all of his protests, I am now aware of his true intention. And any claims of not being into me don't seem true. I don't know what he expected to happen, and some of you might feel like I led him on, but I always made it clear to him that I was committed to Jane. He continued his apology. He asked if I could ever forgive him. I told him that I could, but not now. After all, I can only imagine the confusion he is going through, but manipulation of a friend is not the way to go if someone is having these feelings. He could have been upfront with me, and if our friendship was real, like I thought it was, I would have helped him and gladly been his wingman. I put in a request at work that we no longer have shifts together. I explained all of this to my fiance, and I had a big old cry about it. Feeling used is no fun. Who would have thought? I then called my brother and thanked him for catching on to something that I didn't at first. He teased me, saying it was his job as my older brother to keep a-holes away from me. By the way, I would never keep you away from the full episodes with stories just like this one that you can find on your favorite podcast platform. Just search OK Storytime wherever you listen, and you can get 67 days worth of story, 2,500 plus. Again, I appreciate everyone's comments, especially everyone who urged me to confide in the love of my life, who suggested I question my friendship with Eric. So that's all, I guess. My relationship with James seems stronger than ever. I will miss my friendship with Eric, not because I wanted the attention like some of you thought, only because it was my first friendship with a guy outside of my fiance in forever. Most of my friends are girls, and I thought I could have one uncomplicated relationship with a guy, but it turned out to be fake. Now that I have had that existential crisis, I'm going to go continue working to pay for my wedding. Have a great one, everybody. And that is the end of that story.
Honestly, that could have gone so bad, and that went pretty smooth.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
Could have been horrendous.
Could have been horrible,
Yeah.
but
congratulations.
congrats. Go
Sounds
get
like you guys are
married.
good partners.
My wife cheated on me while she was pregnant.
Ew.
At least she can't get pregnant. Trigger warning, mention of abuse. My wife, female 31, confessed to having a 2-year-long affair. She was very blasé about it, and I, male 34, managed to archive her WhatsApp and had all their texts. I read through everything I could stomach. We didn't have the best relationship, but I thought everyone had the same ups and downs. We went through several IVF treatments and eventually got pregnant. Her affair started when she was 3 months pregnant. From what I gather, it went physical pretty quickly, and she was infatuated with him. She left from doctor checkups we were both at and literally went to see him straight from them while I went back to work. By the way, this comes from Throwaway, TSHAD, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. She worked in the city an hour away. So does he. They met while getting lunch one day. He also stays very close to us from what I can work out. Her job has hours between clients, so to save all the driving, she would just stay in the city and wait for the next one. Not exactly sure what he does, something in software, but whatever it is, he has a ton of downtime. So they spent hours with each other, 4 to 5 days a week, sometimes more than this when they were not working at a spot 5 minutes from our home. She took holidays at work to spend the whole day with him, got dolled up, went out for lunch, and went to the cinema. Took liberties with the advantage of already being pregnant. Seemingly just done things to this guy that I had asked her to do freely without issue. Told him she loved doing them with him. She had things she wanted to try. I had things I wanted her to do. And in the end, neither of them would happen anyway. She tried everything she wanted to try with him. She sent him pictures all the time and videos, which she has never done for me. I felt like I just didn't know her at all. He felt my son picking once she was heavily pregnant. They were still having spicy sleep at the stage, but eventually got too awkward, and she apologized for not being able to on the run up to giving birth, but she could service him in other ways. He was on the mass text list when my son was born. She texted him all the way up to an hour or two before giving birth. Texted him as and when she could after the birth and was still in hospital. She drove to meet him with our baby in the car weeks after he was born up until he started nursery. The normal service resumed. I hope to God nothing happened with my son in the car. It doesn't look like it did. My wife pursued a lot of this. He doesn't really seem spicy motivated at all, and my wife actually said that was one of the reasons she really liked him. We went into therapy, and after a few sessions, the therapist told me that the way I treated her could be labeled abuse. I admitted I was an a-hole, took advantage of her, and didn't treat her like I should have. It hit me very hard, and I had to take a lot of time off work. My mental health took a nosedive. Not long after that, I couldn't afford to keep up with my half of the therapy and had to stop. She moved out, and with childcare and me not working, I couldn't afford it on my own. She came back wondering why it was her that moved out when she fronted the deposit for the house and paid the majority of the bills. I moved into the spare room. We agreed to keep it like this for ease and keep it cordial. And we have been. It sounds crazy, but it's the best we've been together since I can remember. We're not intimate or anything, but around our son, we keep up the perfect family role play. Until his bedtime, where we go our separate ways and don't talk until the next morning when he gets up. She had a hard time getting over him, and from what I've seen, is still struggling. She literally quit her job and got another out of the city because of the memories it was giving her. Threw out almost her entire wardrobe because she remembered wearing most of it to see him. Yesterday, I came home and she was following a recipe on YouTube on her phone. Our son needed to be changed for bedtime, so she quickly ran to go and do that, and I noticed all these notifications on the top of her phone screen. I swiped it down, and one was an email address she had that I didn't know about. Instead of opening the app, I quickly went onto her browser and searched this email. Sure enough, it came up with the login details of this new account. I counted the characters on the password, and it was the same length of password she uses for everything. So I went onto the PC and logged onto it and found all these emails between the two of them. They had been in contact since pretty much the day she confessed. He was the one spearheading the confessing. In the text, I gathered she told him to face it, but she said it over text as well, that she was in love with him, and she was in deep. He told her she has a family, didn't seem to care about that for 2 years, and at least should give it her all to make things work at home, to which she replied saying, the thought of me touching her made her feel sick. He said he was going to tell his wife, and she should tell me as well. She asked about their future together and if there even was one, and he said if his wife has it in her to reconcile, he needs to focus on that. And that's all there was to it. My wife pleaded with him to at least stay friends, which he agreed to try to do. So now we're getting what happened.
Great.
Okay, you got to put that first. It seems it was a bit rocky to begin with, but they seem to be in a good place now. And since he convinced my wife to tell me, all emails seem to be very platonic. If anything, my wife is the one who has teetered on the line a few times. I think just testing the water, but I got shut down pretty instantly. This seems so stupid to type out and read back, but this one hurt. Father's Day was Sunday. I had plans with my son and my dad to go out. She organized a gift and a card for my son to me. I had him walk to me holding it and attempt to say Happy Father's Day. She was pretty silent the entire time. Didn't say anything to me, actually, because you guys aren't together. I saw an email at 6:50 a.m. on Sunday sent to him saying, Happy Father's Day. Hope you have a great day. And she can't wait to hear about what he got up to. Couldn't say a thing to me, yet the first thing she's done when she got up before getting our son ready was send this email to him. Reading that hurt so much. It made me realize, and again, I know this is stupid to just realize this, but I've totally lost her. She's not interested in the slightest to work things out. I knew it was all a show, and after bedtime, we just go our separate ways, but for some reason, I always thought eventually this might work out. She'll see how I've changed, and we'll get back together to where we should be.
Why are we living in this delusion where also we skipped the entire part that you were a terrible person?
Yeah, I can feel myself slipping back down the hole. I don't see a point in even being here. I can't afford or even chance asking for more time off work. I can't afford therapy. I can't afford to go it alone. I wake up and feel like I just can't face the day. I have a kid who reminds me of this crap show every time I look at him. How could she do that with my child growing inside of her? She said herself she had the wrong man's baby. She told him that. The past year has been so hard, and this has just destroyed me. Part of me wants to tell her I know she's still talking to him, but at the same time, what's the point? She's not going to stop. She doesn't want anything to do with me outside the fact that we have a son together. Me telling her I know isn't going to change a thing. I mean, again, it doesn't seem like you guys are together.
They're not. There's
It
no
doesn't
way.
seem like you
and
guys have
he
been-
seems like he's the only one in this delusion that they are.
Yeah. Another part of me wants to put myself out there again, get back at her, but again, what's the point? I'm nothing special to look at. She's gorgeous, goes to the gym, in shape, good job. Go out and get whoever she wants. Nothing I do is going to hurt her. I'm really at the bottom of the barrel and don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm better talking to her or do I just leave her to do what she wants. Gonna anyway. She's more than able to afford to go it alone. I don't have that luxury, and I'm terrified I'll be homeless. I'm lucky to have what I just have now, honestly. I need to try and accept the fact that as a couple, we're over, and I'm really struggling with that. It's a scary thought that someday when our son's old enough, that will be us, and I'll be alone. But deep inside, I'm just slowly giving up on life. How do I dig myself out of this? And you should dig into more episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. You need a lever.
Yeah, I don't think there's any saving anything.
I don't think you said yourself, mistreating your wife.
Right.
She then, not justifiably, but she then cheats on you because of seemingly this treatment.
That, yeah.
Again, not justifiable. She should have left. And then she confesses, says basically that she doesn't want to be with you anymore, but that you're going to live together for the kid. And then you're still in this oh, things are going to be fixed.
Yeah, and the fact that I don't get where he thinks it's going to come from. That
Yeah.
she's going to magically be like, "Oh, yes, I've changed my mind. We're all good again." No, it's not going to go back.
What you need to do, break up, fully divorce, go get a better job. Obviously, it's not that easy. I mean, you're going to be single, but work on yourself
Gotta
to
get
the
over
extent
the
that
kids
you
not-
can. I understand that you can't afford therapy right now, but I think priority right now is getting a better job so that you can afford to pay for your kid. Edit. Many comments mention alimony. I'm in Scotland, so if anyone has a good knowledge of how this can work in my favor here, please get in touch. My wife makes many more times what I do, and her affair partner definitely has a lot of money. Second edit. She wasn't 3 months into the IVF process when this happened. They met 3 months after the transfer happened.
Oh.
We were not 3 months into the whole process.
Okay, so it's definitely his kid.
The abuse comments. I wasn't hitting her. I lost my temper all the time and went straight to shouting about everything. Scared. I also caused arguments constantly. Believe me, I know what a craphead I was. There's no need for anyone to take the time out of their day to send me private messages reinforcing the fact. I wish none of this was real. It's crushing me.
Not crushing you enough to leave yet for
Dude.
some reason.
Dude, you know why your marriage failed. I was it sucks.
Two big reasons.
You know why it failed. You were a and she cheated on you. It's over.